Hello, all you coin collecting, coin loving, coin aficionados out there, and welcome again to the DC Coin World International Coin Channel. Today we have a pile of 50 Pfennig coins from Germany, specifically from what we used to call West Germany, or the Federal Republic of Germany. And if I can get the light right, you'll actually be able to see many of them. There we go. Now, we did a video about a week or two ago, and we've done videos in the past on the 50 Pfennig coins from Germany, and we get a lot of questions because there's a little bit of misinformation out there, and there's a lot of information that's slightly confusing to people out there. So let's go over a couple things with these 50 Pfennig coins. The first thing that we should say is that they first started making the 50 Pfennig coin after World War II in 1949. So from 1945 until 1948, the Allies produced the currency, or essentially from 46 to 48, the Allied occupational forces in Germany produced the currency that was used in Germany. In 1949, the Federal Republic of Germany started producing its own currency. And so that's what we have here, the first instances of the new Germany's, the Federal Republic of Germany's currency post-World War II, the self-produced currency. So in 1949, they started producing this coin, and you can see the front. It's a woman or a girl planting an oak tree. It's a sign of rebirth. It's a sign of renewal. It's a sign, I think, of starting over for the country. And what I wanted to do is kind of go through this pile and then just talk about some of the coins in the pile. So this one here, if we zoom down on it right there, that's a 1967. So what does that tell us? Well, this coin was made from 1949 to 1950 in with one type of back on it. But then from 1950 to 2001, this coin was made with another back on it. So let's take a look at that. And if we look at the back, we see that it says Bundesrepublik Deutschland, and it says 50 in the middle, and then Pfennig at the bottom. And this is a J, and this is the Mintmark of the Hamburg Mint. So we can look this up and we can say, okay, in 1967, how many did they make? This was made at the Hamburg Mint. We can go all through that, but we're not going to go through that for this video. But let's take a look at a different one. Okay, this is a 1950, and you may have heard me say that one of the coins, the first coin that was made by the Federal Republic of Germany, was made in 1949 and 1950. But it turns out not many were made in 1950, and they were only made at one mint. So the first coin that was made in 1949, and one mint made the same coin in 1950. And so how can you tell the difference? Well, here's a 1950 here, and here's, let me see if we can find a 1949. I think there's one right over here, isn't there? There, is that one? Yeah, okay. So that's a 49. Let's bring that over, and we'll take a look at the 49 and the 50 together, and we'll keep going through the pile, but let's just take a look at these and establish what's going on right up front. So in the front of the 1949, same exact front as the 1950. A girl or woman planting an oak tree, or replanting an oak tree. If we turn to the back, we see that we have two different backs. So here's the 49 back. It says Bank Deutscher Länder, 50 in the center, Pfennig with the F here. In 1950, actually really early in the year, they started producing this coin. This is a 50 Pfennig coin, the same back that they've had from 1950 the beginning of 1950 until 2001, when it was demonetized as part of the whole new Euro deal. So this coin's back. See again, this one says Bundesrepublik Deutschland. This one says Bank Deutscher Länder. So the first currency made by Germany said Bank Deutscher Länder on it, 50 Pfennig. What happened though was in 1950 they were supposed to switch over to this Bundesrepublik Deutschland coin, and all of the mints did it from the start except for one, and that was the Karlsruhe mint. For some reason, Karlsruhe made about 30,000 50 Pfennig notes with this back on it in 1950. So that's where some of the confusion comes from. So when we look through these coins, if we always look for the 1950s because you want to know if the 1950 reverse will have this Bank Deutscher Länder on it. If it does, that's the and it'll also have a G here too, because only the Karlsruhe mint made any, and they only made about 30,000. At least that's what the estimates are, and they are hard to find and they are valuable. So we'll take a look and see if we got any other 1950. Here's a 49, so we know on the back it's going to say Deutscher Länder, right? Here's a 50. Okay, let's look at this 50. If we look on the back, we got Bundesrepublik, and we know it's going to be Bundes because it has a D anyway. So we probably only have to look at the Mintmark when we look at the back of the 1950s. Here's another 49, so we know it's going to be Deutsche Länder. And that was a 49F. Here is a 66, so we know it's going to be the Bundesrepublik because they made this from 50 to 2001. We look at the 49 again. We know it's going to be Deutscher Länder, right? And this is the J mint. The J mint mark is for Hamburg. The F mint mark is for Stuttgart. D is Munich, and G is Karlsruhe. So people also say, well, what about the A mint mark? And they didn't produce these coins with an A mint mark in 49 and 50. The Berlin mint was not open and running at that time. So we turn this one over, and we see it says Bundesrepublik in a J. So that's another 1950, but it's not the one we want. And I'm guessing we're not going to find the one we want here because they're so hard to find. Okay, here's a 72, and just remember they did this coin from 1950 until 2001. So there are all kinds of these ones here with the Bundesrepublik on it. And then finally, let's look at this one. That's the last of the ones we have. It's a 74, so again, we know it's not going to be. So what are we looking for? We're looking for, in terms of finding a rare coin, we're looking for one that says Bank Deutscher Länder on it, and it's not going to have an F or a J on it, and it's also not going to be from 1949. So we're looking for a 1950 with Bank Deutscher Länder on it with a G mint mark, and that will be the coin that is worth money, and you're very unlikely to find that, but keep looking because we like to see just how many of them we can find out there. And so here's the 50, but again, almost every 50 you're ever going to see, unless you see a picture or go to a dealer, is going to say Bundesrepublik Deutschland rather than Bank Deutscher Länder. So look for the 50, look for the 1950, look for the 50 Pfennig, look for the G mint mark, and look for Bank Deutscher Länder, and that'll be a very valuable coin. All right, so hopefully we didn't confuse you even more. There's our bunch of 50 Pfennig notes from the Federal Republic of Germany, or what we just now call Germany. We're also going to do a video coming up soon on the German Democratic Republic, or the so-called East Germany. Look for that video. We're going to do a few coins from the 60s and 70s from East Germany. Okay, have a great day from the DC Coin World International Coin Channel.